Okay, good morning, my awesome peoples, good morning. By the grace of God, well, you know, I always say, right, like Del Big Tree, if it's afternoon, good afternoon, if it's evening, good night, good night. You know, I'm trying to see how to do this by the grace of God. There is so much information to present regarding what's going to happen in the last days, which we're living in, what's going to happen in the world as we see it. I mean, there's so many things happening right now. And yet, you know, depending on where you live or where we are, it's like a quiet, still, calm day. Like today's a Sabbath, today's Saturday, you know, 7th day of the week. And they're relaxing. Oh, I gotta watch this. Look at this in the back here. Do you see up there? I think a branch is broken off and it's hanging. We're gonna have to get that. That can fall on somebody's head. I think after the, you know, or hopefully not, but you know, but it's in the back of by the garden there where we at. And a lot of things have been falling. These trees are very old and things keep falling from them periodically in the back there. Because if you look there beyond that, it's the fence. But I usually walk in the back to get stuff. I hope it doesn't fall like that, you know. But something else that is kind of sad. Yesterday I was looking at a video of a plane crash in Brazil. I think 61 people tragically lost their lives. A plane, they just showed a picture falling from the sky, just kind of spiraling down, kind of like a free fall. And some people are thinking maybe icing, some people are thinking maybe stall, maybe human error, maybe, you know, equipment malfunction. I don't know. You know, that's not my field. I watch and listen to videos, and I heard a video from CNN, you know, which I usually don't listen to, but, you know, if they just take it as it is, objectively, I'll take that, you know. And I just saw some other clips of it, and I'm like, oh my. I listened to the witness accounts. All I could think about was what was happening, on what was going through the people's mind. To know that you're going, they said he fell about 17,000 feet in 1 minute. To be going and hearing the sound, they said they said they heard the props on. Some people think it sounded like a drone. To hear the propellers on, it was one of those propeller engines. It sounds like, you know, as opposed to like, you know, like the turbines you see in the big 747, 737s and stuff. And to hear that thing going and to be inside it going whirling around and around, this takes me back to the tragic accident of Kobe Bryant and the people in the helicopter that time. And I'm looking, you know, you see the shirts I have on sometimes, and I'm like, is it that real? It's over like that? That's it? So yesterday we go about our day and our events, and today there are 61 plus people not here with us anymore. But because the world is so big, and you know there's so many gaps and variations, changes between the world, you know, between the continents and, you know, the rivers, the water, there's a lot of things that gap, you know, we don't know everything instantly. But because it's so big, do we feel the effects? I felt the effect because I saw the video clips of it, and I sent the videos to other people I know from Brazil. They felt the effects of it too, and they talk about it. Some said, yeah, I go to the airport all the time, I pass all the time, but I don't trust those planes, I don't like those planes. Then I listened to the account from CNN, the account that said, yeah, those planes, they're plagued with things over their history. They're plagued with things over history. And I'm like, and he said, I even heard one person say, weren't you suspended for speaking about that plane and stuff and everything? Yeah, I'm like, wow. Do you hear, do you see, look at the contrast. We're sitting here now relaxing, and there are planes flying above here and there, you know, in the sky. The sky looks so beautiful and calm. Such a lot of beautiful things around us. Yet in one side, this is in the US, this video is coming from the USA. And if you want to see who I am, and some people, and, you know, I don't show my face all the time because it's not about me, but if you want to see who I am, here I am. I'm saying, we're living in a time whereby news is breaking out like almost every minute. You know, it's like 1 minute you're living and everything's fine, next minute sky's on fire and bullets and bombs are dropping. I saw another clip also say about Ukraine made an encroachment into Russia this weekend, and it's like they showed the videos of them keeping hostage. Now, there's something that some people may not like to hear, so I'll tell you anyhow. I do not believe those wars and those skirmishes, like the one happening between Israel and the rest of those Hamas and other stuff happening there, are by accident. And I say that to say that I do not trust the information that I get from the general media. And pretty much the idea is like whenever they say this, it's that. So I cannot trust them. because there are so many lies and deceptions and stuff going on around. And not only just because of what AI can do and other thing, what people say and do. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's pretend. People are losing their lives for sure. But I'm saying there are other groups and factors that are playing a role behind the scenes that we don't see. We hear stuff from the government. We hear stuff from the newscasters. We hear stuff from, what is it? I don't say prognosticators. We hear some people saying, I know I predicted this and this. And I'm like, first of all, I'll say, the symbol on the flag of Israel, that's significant already. It's an occultist symbol, a pagan symbol. I'm like, who gave it to them? When was Israel? When was Israel that the territory constructed? Israel usually means, that means God's, like you say, God's like firstborn. It's Israel. Israel from, that was Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, but I don't believe the Israel of today is the same Israel of the time only, meaning that we're all spiritual Israelites. We're all descendants of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Jacob. We're all from all the children, so we're all spiritual Israelites as well. So when you hear them talking about Israel and the temple and this and this and this, I'm like, there's some significance that could happen there. I would just stick with the Bible and spirit of prophecy and LG writers, because I don't know for certain what's going on in this conflict there. All I know that from history have told us there are a lot of hands, including the Vatican and papacy and Jesuits and other groups that are playing a role, but mostly Satan. Satan loves war and skirmish and fight and bloodshed. What better way to lose a lot of lives quickly? How many people you see? How many soldiers you see get tried for murder or homicide or something happening there? It's like under the fog of war. Even and I tell you an example too. This is going to lead to what we're talking about. Even like we're trying to make video games and stuff and mobile games and PC games, all that stuff. This is not a promo for them, but what we notice is that if we can make the games where it's like a dark background or a dark theme, we can hide a lot of defects and imperfections in the game, or a lot of things that glitches, if something like that. But I'm kind of simplifying it, but just saying that. Or if it's on the fog of war, I saw a lot of games made with fog, and there's a game called Fog of War. The fog of war, you cannot see the little details or imperfections, but it's like the mystery. Like driving like life. You drive to when it's foggy or snowy or cloudy or rainy, and the environment is different completely than when you're just driving alone. Driving in beautiful day with everything, the conditions is right. 70-something degrees, the road is clear, no potholes, nothing. Traffic is slow and everything is good, sunlight. But the light that we receive from the natural environment does play a role. The environmental conditions on the vehicles, on ourselves, on our bodies, like when it's hot and humid, you won't be able to perspire and evaporate the water and stuff as much and the heat as much. Those things all do play a factor. So from the plane crash to ships sitting around the ground, what about the Titanic at the past? What about the World Trade? What about there's a lot of things, a lot of calamities you can think about. And you notice I don't have videos and clips to show you every single thing there, because for one, I see that now they're cracking out on videos and stuff even being posted of people putting things of news matters. They want to fine and prison and they want to, arrest people. Look what happened in the UK, as I said. The UK, some people are not allowed to post things about what's happening with the violence and the skirmishes happening there. Is it between the refugees and between the people or the police, the mass? I can't even trust what they're telling us, because the news gets filtered coming across. Unless I'm there to witness it or I call relatives who are there, I don't know. Yes, it's significant. Yes, it means a lot to me. But then it's also very hypocritical, because it seems like what I see happening are those people trying to speak about the truth and reveal what's happening to the rest of the world by putting it in social media, make it like a live broadcast or something. They're the ones being arrested and put in jail. Old people and young, they're the ones that's even beaten up and bludgeoned. But the ones that are doing the protesting and the beating and the harm, I don't see nothing happening, no prosecutions for them. Just like what happened during the BLM riots, Black Lives Matter riots in the U.S. during the time of COVID, or that was 2019, 2020 plus? And then people kind of, after that, a lot of the restrictions kind of got broken, because they were allowed to go there and peacefully protest. When fires are burning back and forth, even CNN or those things, peaceful protest. You see the videos. Places are burning down, cop cars are burning, the streets are burning. People are getting attacked, beaten for being white or different colors or being Asian. They're attacking Asians and white, because I'm like, have we seen what sin can do? Have we seen what it has done yet? Are we aware? Are we taking it to heart? What matters in this life? Remember, this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. We're going to talk about what happened in his life, but we cannot separate the scripture from reality. Reality is truth. It's dear. Or is it? What about you see videos of apparitions of things coming through the skies? Voices are coming there, or hands reaching through the clouds and trying to grab at you. What about hearing stuff of voices talking to you? Huh? What? Huh? Or in the house somewhere. What? AI and other stuff there, and what they can do with mirror images there, where the weather manipulating technology. There's all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff. What about the fires in Hawaii that happened recently? You know, what about the fire that hit the Caribbean recently? What about some of the storms that hit Florida and other ones of the floodings? And what about the stuff that happened in the kind of random flood through the New York City and stuff of Rockland County and other places just out of the blue? What about the floods of Dubai killing people? What about the mudslides and the monsoons? How is it they can predict a forecast of every day to predict, you know, there's a storm coming, it's approaching, it's coming to hit next week, 10 days out plus, 7 days out plus, 5 days, I mean, they can predict those things, which that's accuracy. They know it's going to go left or right, the probability of this and those. Yet they couldn't see a heavy deluge of rain coming that's going to flood the place and drown people in their basements, or drown people in their cars, or wash away things that happen. How is it we know so much, yet we seem to not know the things that we should know already? It's life. Who can we blame? Where did we start? Like this, I'm saying, where do we start? Here? Oh, here. I want to talk about the great controversy, the history of it, going through it. I want to actually go through everything about American prophecy. Where can we start? Where can we start? There are a lot of things happening right now, and it's in our best interest to take notice of them. We're not to live in a bubble as if we don't see anything. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to see anything. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me anything. I'm accountable. Don't tell me anything. No. Shut up. What did they do to John the Baptist? What did they do to Jesus? What did they do to Moses? What did they do to Jacob? Joseph? What did they do to the disciples? Who were the ones persecuting the disciples and Jesus and the people, the prophets, Elijah, Elisha? Who were the ones persecuting them the most? It was religious people. That doesn't mean all religious people are bad, they're wicked. I'm a religious person too. If you can define the term religious as being someone trying to seek a close relationship with God, my creator. And I believe you are too. It's not just religious people though. There's something else going on. Remember, God said all battles are not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. There are a lot of spiritual forces working in the scenes inside of people, around people. You remember in Jesus' time, it was always, he healed the sick, the lame, the blind, give back sight to the blind and everybody, and always casting out demons, casting out devils. Since the disciples, sadly, have been, many of them martyred and have fallen asleep, and Jesus is back in heaven, and the Comforter is here, the Holy Spirit, which is God also. I don't hear that many things that people saying, casting out demons, casting out devils, casting out demons. So I'm saying that's over 2,000 years ago, roughly, right? Because Jesus lived for 33 years, so 32 and a half, started his ministry at 30 years old. But even before that, he was already speaking about God after being homeschooled by his mother and father, Joseph, Mary and Joseph. She's in the grave sleeping too, so she's not in heaven making intercession for us. No, she did her part. She said, behold thy handmaid, be it done unto me as thou according to your word, and paraphrasing when the angel told her that she will have a son, a child, even before she got married. No, she wasn't sleeping around, she wasn't fornicating, she wasn't a W-H-O-R-E, I have to say the word, whore, as some people say. She wasn't doing all that kind of stuff people say. She was not married to Joseph as yet. I believe God chose her peculiarly, or in particular, just as he did Esther and everyone, Hadassah, for such a time as was then, and even to have her message and a memory to be at such a time as this. Because remember, every miracle he did, she noted it down. What does that have to do with scripture? Sometimes it's get at it. You got to give kind of like a build-up, an introduction to what it is. And I'm not just giving this for the sake of, like, look, I can speak sensationally. Also, I managed to tweak something on the phone that gave me a lot more memory. So I can actually speak a little slower now. And I think you'll appreciate the slower speech, right? I do talk fast. I can talk faster. And I ask God to help me to speak in a way that you understand. I prayed already before I started this, and I pray every time, every day, because I don't know what's coming at us, how the message will be conveyed, or what people get from it. But it's just, we have to take it to heart. We cannot separate, say, my life, religion. I don't need to do Saturday, Sabbath, and I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything else. I don't want to hear anything. I want to hear anything else. God said to try the spirits. News is coming every day. So if I'm in church right now, right, and down the block is a fire and it's spreading to the houses, would I not want to listen to the alarms, or maybe people shouting, get out, there's fire coming, get out, there's fire? Would I not want it because it's Sabbath, or because it's a special day? What did God say? If a sheep falls in the ditch, or an animal falls in the ditch, won't you pluck it out? But yet, when he went to heal someone who was crippled and bowed down by Satan, and blind or sick or lame on the Sabbath, people came at him. The religious leaders came at him. How dare you violate the Sabbath? They're telling the creator of the Sabbath he's wrong for keeping the Sabbath the way God intended it to be. You got the Cain's killing the Abels and harming the Abels by uniting with the civil leaders and powers and stuff. The religious leaders united with the civil powers to persecute God's people, remnant, for just trying to read the Bible, study the Bible, and spread the truth. Why were the disciples persecuted? Read Acts of the Apostles. Read the book of Acts. Why was John exiled to Patmos? Why are all these things happening? Why are Christians being persecuted through the ages? What did Nero do? What about Constantine? What about the popes? What about the Jesuits? What about the Freemasons? What about the Knights of the Bath? What about the Counter-Reformation? What about the leaders in the Congress in the U.S. and presidents? What about all the stuff we always hear and talk about? What about the news? There's old news past. What about the lives have come and gone already? Kobe's not here no more. Tina Turner's not here anymore. Mandisa's not here anymore. Frank Sinatra's not here anymore. Carl Weathers and Rocky, he's not here anymore. Kramer, he's not here anymore. These are people known in movies and stuff. We have some people that are still there. Clint Eastwood is still around, I believe. You have Van Damme and Steven Seagal. I'm just mentioning a name that you may or may not know in movies. I watch a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of movies and stuff back in the days, and I watch a lot of stuff today, and I'm like, is our life like a movie? All the sounds, all the stuff we hear, how beautiful and how beautiful it is to watch. I mean, look up there. I see birds. Wait, there they are, the clouds up there. My magnification is only up to 3 months, and this phone doesn't go as far, but look how high they fly in the clouds. Look how high they are. And yet they're cared for. God said, take no thought for tomorrow, for today. Sufficient unto the day of the troubles thereof. So don't be anxious or worry. I don't want to worry. I don't want to be constantly in fear and living like that. I don't live in fear anymore of what mankind can do unto us. I'm more worried about, are we ready to meet God? Are we prepared to meet God as He asks us to be? Is our life all together? Because of the plane falling down from the sky, tragically, and there's other flights that have crashed. What about, remember 9/11, all this stuff? Where are the people from Flight 93? They can find the black boxes of planes falling to the fathom of the ocean and hitting mountains and destroying everywhere. Yet they cannot find one black box from 9/11. Out of 5 planes, they can't find one. And the plane that hit the Pentagon supposedly was the debris and the way it landed and everything else. You find little pieces of stuff there, but you cannot find it. Very interesting. What about Flight 93? You said the people fought back valiantly and he fell and crashed to the ground, turned into a crater. So a plane just fell from the sky, disintegrated into the ground? Does that make sense? You ever seen a plane that disintegrated to thin air? And they couldn't find any pieces of the plane, any little pieces, hill pieces are here. Some say some missiles, some say stuff. I believe the account of the missiles and other stuff. You know? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. How come we have such technology and such things you can't find? They say they found every piece of everybody's DNA so they could report them. They had phone calls from the people on the plane saying, "Mom, this is your son." Da da da. Who calls someone and says, "Mom, this is your son"? Doesn't mom and dad know our voices automatically? How high up in the air, how many thousands of feet in the air they're calling? But now you can still, some places you still can't even use the internet. You can't even make phone calls. And this is how many years? It's like 23 years after? in the places that are so full of technology right now, that they try to gouge us for every seat and every piece of real estate there. Come on, get to it already. What are we rushing for? What do we want to see? What do we want to get? What came? As I said, Jesus asked him, what went you forth to see? John the Baptist. Am I John the Baptist? I cannot claim that. I am just me. And I tell myself I and I, keeping it real, because I and I means you and me. We're equivalent. I and I, 1 + 1. I'm just bringing to you a message that God has given to us, and I'm saying, make it practical. We need to listen to the news and a lot of different sources of news, international news. Okay, I listen to NCRT, I listen to Al Jazeera sometimes, CNN, I listen to just a lot of different CNN periodically, but not that much Fox sometimes, but usually I rather listen to alternative media. I don't even have cable. I turn the old cable off. I just put it on, so it's just the internet. Because to me, all of it is like, it's so salacious and scandalous, and sometimes it's just so fake. I'm like, so people get a lot of stuff from social media and Reddit and all these different things and these different clips, and it's like, and even Twitter and stuff, X, they call it. Why did they change the name? What about Meta, who was once Facebook and stuff? They change the name and they kind of go incognito. You know there's a function on the computers to do that? Why are these there? Why are all these channels there? Why are people being trafficked left and right? Now I'm hearing that they traffic some more than others, and those who are more of the transgender versus the regular. I mean, you name it. I'm like, can it get any worse? Murder and violence, immorality, lawlessness, chaos is going rampant around the world in many different forms, and people just like living life. Hey, what's my new phone? I'm gonna get married. Where's my kids? What am I this? They're living life they could care less. I just watched a video just like this morning. Lady attacks an Uber driver with pepper spray in his face. 2 ladies sitting in the car, and one just comes on the back, just starts attacking and spraying him, like some spirit took over her. Maybe she was drunk, it was drugs or something. But thank God it's captured on a video camera. If not, it could be he, she versus she. Uber driver gets attacked again. I'm like, I don't know the general, I don't know the circumstances, but some people just trying to live a job and get attacked. I heard of people making deliveries and getting attacked and killed in the driveway by going to the wrong house by accident. But yet we want Uber Eats and foods and stuff delivered to us. We want the convenience, but we don't want to be aware, or we don't want to know what's going on by having those conveniences. What about COVID? Safe and effective. Shall not die. What has been the truth? Told you I used to work in healthcare. I left it and I'm not going back. From what I saw happen and what I saw them do and the aftermath and the way people's rights and freedoms were taken and restricted, and what a lot of the hospitals, what their policies still do to people, even overruling families' wishes back then. Many people died that didn't have to die. There were antidotes, there were treatments, there were remedies that could have been given to many people. And a lot of the governors and legislators and leaders around the country blocked it. What about Pfizer, Moderna, all these different pharmaceutical companies? They blocked it. They tried to block it even to the presidency. Lockdowns, masking. We call it the pandemic. It was planned. Event, what's it, 201, 2020? It was planned. John Hopkins study, it was planned. The aftermath. The WHO, World Economic Forum now, the World Health Organization, the UN, they have plans. The flooding of migrants across the border and across the different countries, planned. The crashes into the refineries and the food producing areas, planned. The killing of the livestock and food and everything else, the birds and the chickens and the beef and livestock, planned. The fires in Hawaii and all this other stuff happened, looks very planned. Fires of California stuff looks very planned. The one in Canada looks very planned. 9/11 looks planned. Inside job. They're going to say, this is the one they're going to block. They're going to block it, they're going to block it, they're going to block it. They're trying their best to block it. The video I used to watch before, Loose Changes. They've changed it up a lot. Final Cut. They took a lot of stuff. There's another one called Truth and Lies about 9/11. A lot of things have been taken away and blocked and taken out. So I don't know what they will and will not do, or what they will permit. I just have to take a chance. I'm trying to see what other people do. And it's like, did they make it across the pond? Did they make it across the ravine? Did they get it? Like crossing like wildebeest trying to cross the ocean, infested with not ocean, but lake or river infested with crocodiles, trying to eat them and kill them. Or trying to cross the Sahara, or just crossing some passage point, where there's other predators and where to prey. Where you have to be as humble as doves and wise as serpents. Will they block this one? I don't know. So far, they're permitted something to go through. They're permitted others to go through. It seems like when you have a big following, that's when they block you. I'm a little bitty person, so I'm not, but they may block me too. For why? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just speaking the truth, speaking what I see, speaking information collected over the years. I say, question everything. Go back and question everything, because we must. Even the Bible asks, are these things true? Why is it the way it is? What is happening here? Are these things true? Are the disciples true? Is God true? What's going on? Let's get to God's word, because I got a lot more to tell you, and the time will come. I want to start with Jude first, and then I'm gonna jump to Revelation, and jump to deeper Revelation, and see. Let's talk about something Jude first. You never know how things go. I'll say a prayer because we're here. Just to hear it out. Maybe I'll separate the two so people don't flag this and drop the whole message. You get totally blocked, right? So we're gonna start with Jude first. Let's start. I'm gonna block this part. Let's call this one. What should I call it? Recollections of life lived. Recollections of a world event. Recollections. I will start it off. Let me start. God bless you.